You're just sounding
ASMR
normally.
the whole time. Can we please do an ASMR?
Not the whole time.
Okay.
All right, guys. So we decided to do this ASMR episode. I'm sorry to anybody who doesn't like ASMR, but at least this is the beginning of it. Today I'm joined with Daisy. Hi. And Vasali.
Hello.
This is an ASMR special. I usually do that when the girls are on because they love ASMR so much. How are y'all feeling today?
Oh, I thought you knew.
I feel great.
I feel good.
No, you gotta like emphasize.
I feel good.
Oh, I feel so good.
So.
I don't think we can do this the whole time.
Okay. Joined on my right side with Daisy, who is a internal. Is that right?
VP internal.
VP internal. And on my left side, we got the president of the Science Society. How's it going?
Hello.
How's it going, girls? How's it going?
It's a busy week. This week was
Long.
pretty
It was
busy.
long.
Yeah.
Very busy.
Yesterday we had our GA for the
Right.
MSS, which
GA
is
General, which is known
the
to be
General Assembly.
Assembly.
Yeah.
Lots
Right.
of pizza.
Lots of pizza. Shut up, Boston Pizza.
Being part of a club in university, I think is a lot of challenge, and I'm surprised y'all don't get paid for the work that you do.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But let's start it off with, how's it being the first? Are you the first brown president?
I am not. I think I'm the first brown, girl president because, yeah, at least to my knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah, because I know there was a guy.
Yeah, there was a guy
before,
3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And how has that been? How is the process to becoming a president in university? At least, I know you had to work your way up.
Yeah.
I know that. That's for sure.
No, well, yeah, the MSS is, which is the McMaster's. I don't know if we said that, but it's pretty good because, I started out as a second-year rep, and then I moved on because I was like, I didn't find that role to be challenging. There was less responsibilities for me, so I did VP internal. That was really fun. I was like that past president's right-hand man, and then I got into presidency, which was this year. I didn't think that I was going to be eventually. I didn't really know how life would be with MSS. But during my third year working with Luca, the past president, I realized this is something that I want to do.
Yeah.
And I worked my way towards it. My team right now is helping me. But yeah, I think definitely tough. I remember campaigning, and I remember worried about how people would think of me because it's a role with responsibility in the sense that you're a lot of burden or a lot of just eyes on you, and you have to make sure that everything in the MSS goes well because it's under your name.
Yeah.
Which I don't have to worry about because luckily for me, my team is just really good.
Yeah.
And they work really hard. So
I know.
There's 6 VPs. One of the VPs is right here in front of me. And so they work really hard to have the events and services. Daisy works really hard. She's the one that did the whole thing for the GA yesterday.
Yeah.
So that was really good. But yeah.
So, bottle cap. I made a promise. Daisy's on. And just quickly, guys, for anybody who's listening right now, bottle cap is just this random comment that popped up on a video that Daisy was on April when I was doing Crash Course on Nothing. And that was my previous podcast. But anyways, the comment was protect this woman at all costs or something like that. Or this woman is beautiful or something like that.
It's this woman is beautiful.
That was funny because we reacted to that, and then we started making jokes between us and the friend group, hey, bottle cap, we'll bring Daisy on and whatever. But Daisy, how has it been for you to be part of, first of all, Vasali's team, which is also your friend? How is it that how do you manage business and friendship right there?
Good question.
Excellent question. And I think
Just talking shit.
I'm glad that, let me tell you, being her roommate, living with her, working with her, and having to see her every day.
She's like,
No.
This girl's horrible.
I think they say when you move in with someone,
Yeah.
it could either make or break the friendship. And I think living with her in first year, amazingly enough, we were friends before, but we were never really close friends. But living together grew us a lot closer So then shift that with work. And in a nice and beautiful way, we have a very unique, I think, collaboration style.
Yeah.
We are very considerate of one another, always. And I think that allows us to work very, very well with each other and with our team. We have our goals are very aligned, where we care about everybody, not just like the goal of the group itself, but like every single individual that's in the team. Because we understand there's a lot of compassion that goes into it. And in that type of leadership style, surely maybe there's times we might like butt heads on a specific small little like idea. But if I think through like open communication, we talk it out, we figure out what's the most like objectively logical approach to something, and then we go with that. But yeah, that eye to eye, I think allows us a lot. And we know it's like not hard feelings. At the end of the day, it's just
So much hard feelings.
it's just like it's a commitment like anything else.
Yeah.
Right? So
I think definitely like the past, like being on MSS and being on the same playing field for the past 2 years, like I don't feel any different. Like I think when I was told when I got into the role, I was told that it's lonely being up, and I can see that, but my VPs don't do that.
Yeah.
And I don't feel I don't feel higher than them. I feel like what I wanted to do was make sure that was that democracy, that we're all core executive.
Yeah.
And that's there. And I'm really happy about that because I don't want to be alone at the top. I'd rather be with people and lower. Like that's not my goal isn't to be here by myself and making everything about, which I don't know, somehow people always go Miss President, but like at the end of the day, it's this team. What we did really well was that collaboration and just understanding, and then also understanding that we're all students.
Yeah.
I think it's a hard thing to it's like you mentioned, it's like we don't get paid for this. We have full course loads. A lot of us have like things to go through. People are going through like things daily. You don't know what they're going through. So I always want to make sure that I'm never gonna be like, oh, push work. If you need me to fill in for something, I'll do it. Like, you know,
Right.
It's that kind of thing that I want to continue for, because I want them to do the same for me if I ever need anything, right?
I see, yeah.
So
we're all friends with everybody too. But then it comes to a point of like business versus friendship. Like we're all friends, but we're all friends with a shared goal. And because we know that collective goal, we know, okay, like lock in, get your work done, keep up with it. Because Visali, what makes her a really good leader too is she knows when to have those tough conversations with us. Like if she needs to talk to us and put on that stern like voice, she will. But she'll also be like fooling around and laughing with you, and she's a human too, you know. And it, like you can be a president, and yes, it can be lonely, but it doesn't have to be like you're not by yourself. Like you're with your team, right?
Right.
So, knock on wood. But I like to say that like everything so far has been very, very good.
yeah.
It's interesting you say that. I wonder how y'all's friendship has it grown? How has it grown? How has it changed from
The lore.
The lore.
The lore,
You want
like,
to know the lore?
Let's know the lore, because I feel like we don't know much about it, and I think the audience want to know more about
Daisy? Bottle cap?
no, not ball cap, but I think the audience really want to know, like, all right, so now y'all work together. So how did this whole start? And how are y'all like
way
different?
back when? Vaughn, tell me that.
Right, don't leak where you live, but like.
In grade 9, we went to the same high school. In grade 9, I met her in geography class, but that was so jokes because it was just one class, and we also had a ASMR like YouTube.
Oh,
thing.
y'all have an ASMR.
I don't know where it is at all, but we just like it was with another girl. I'm gonna call it Dav ASMR. It was like Daisy, the girl's name, and Vasali ASMR, and yeah, and then it was just for jokes. And then in grade 10, we had another class together. We knew of each other. I was in a different friend group. She was in a different friend group.
Civics.
Yeah, this is careers and civics. Yeah,
Wait, what is?
It's called careers and civics.
it's a grade 10 class.
Interesting. I never heard of
You just
that.
talk about
Mad
like,
easy.
Yeah, it's just
100. It's not that hard. But yeah,
Right.
that's when grade 10, and we bonded over when
swimming.
no, when X died. That was a whole thing.
I remember that. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
us
yes,
and another
yes.
girl. But yeah, that was crazy. And then swimming,
Swimming, we were learning to do dives together.
because it was us two and our friend Livia. We were the only 3 girls that did not know how to dive in the swimming team. So when we were sitting there like idiots, diving like whales, and then but we like bonded over. Then now we're like friends since
Yeah,
then.
y'all are so like
we're tight friends since then.
And then COVID came.
COVID,
So how did that did y'all think that affected the distance?
It's the opposite.
Or
it made everything better.
We got closer because of it.
it's interesting.
Do we want to air this online though?
What?
What?
well, we got closer through
Roblox?
and
Well, that's-
Among Us.
Oh, Among Us. Yeah.
Wait. I think everybody in that era. I know maybe people shit on it now.
I don't think so. I think
No,
everyone played Among
no,
Us.
I can say it with my chest. Yeah.
Among Us, Roblox. We played like
Piggy.
the horror game, like a Piggy. Arsenal.
Okay.
This is so funny. But yeah, I'll play Valorant and like League with my friend Livia, but Daisy would join in. We played Fortnite because Daisy plays Fortnite. Hello.
Back
So
in the day, it was a thing. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
We
Everybody played Fortnite.
But she was god at it for some
No,
reason.
Really?
no. Okay,
I didn't
well,
know you were like that.
She was,
You know.
emo.
I was really good at emoting and hiding in bushes, but I played on my phone or my iPad
That's
at the
fine.
time. But it was fun.
Yeah.
It was so unserious, and I think it was a coping thing because the
Yeah.
pandemic hit us all really, really hard, and it gave us a sense of community. Like when classes were over, you log on to Discord.
Girl,
you see your
I did not
friends.
finish class. I did it during class.
Okay, well, yeah. Let's be real. That was during class. But like, I don't know. It was nice.
But yeah.
And we would talk for hours on end and watch movies together.
We had a class called food nutrition. And it was us two and a girl named Sam. And we would make food. And so we'd go and like deliver the food for each other. And that was so fun too.
Yeah.
Wait, how?
The class is you make food.
Okay.
So you make food at home. Usually you would make food in class. But
Okay.
you make food at home.
Was this COVID
And then-
safe? Maybe not.
Even in COVID?
But
Yeah,
Interesting.
we just drove, and then we just like wore masks.
Okay.
Like my mom would drive me and drop me off or something. Like I would drop it off at Daisy's house or like whatever. And so like I remember I made like pasta or something.
mac and cheese.
Yeah, you made mac and cheese.
buzz.
It was Miss Flowers. Shout out Miss Flowers. Sick
Yeah.
teacher. We learned about bacteria. Back. Anyways, sorry. That was anyways. That was in grade 12. Yeah, and then we were deciding to go to unis together, and like I think this is the only person I knew at the time was Daisy. We had the same like why we got so close because we had the same kind of path. We both knew we wanted to be like doctors eventually, and I was like, yo, like Mac Life Sci sounds so good, or Mac Health Sci sounds so good, and then we didn't get in.
But hey, you made it to Max. So
That's true. We got into Mac Life Sci. So that was sick, and then we roomed together. And mind you, I know mad people that like roomed with their like people that they know and they're not friends anymore, which is like how things sometimes go. Lo and behold, me and her are not like we were crazy as hell in first year, but luckily we never had that many like roommate fights because I feel like again like how you mentioned like we just have so much consideration for each other.
Right.
We're so similar, but we're different.
Different.
She's extroverted, and I'm introverted.
Wait, are you?
Okay. She's introverted
She is.
outside. I feel like she's so extroverted at home.
I feel like you are introverted.
So-
You're introverted outside in front of new people that you don't know. Yeah, for sure. I think
Yeah.
V is very
Outgoing.
outgoing. Like she knows people. Like I see her talk to people from like different clubs in McMaster, and I'm like, she's like out there. She's talking, and I'm like, wow, okay. I would never. I don't think I'm like that either.
Nah, but
Yeah.
it's funny because we are very different. Like the way we approach things, the way we do things, like even the study methods. I feel like we're so different, but we're so same. Somehow, like our brains think the same.
How do y'all think your study methods differ?
Oh, Daisy's the hardest worker I know. And I'm like I cannot compare to her. I end up doing things so like because of her. She texts me every like right now we have an English class together, and she texts me on Sunday. She goes, "Yo, our reflections due tomorrow. Our quiz is due tomorrow." I'm like, "Yo, thanks, fam." Like I didn't know that.
She's your reminder.
She
Google,
actually
Google
is
Calendar.
because I don't like if when it comes to academics, I'm actually like the worst when it comes to like whatever. Because my philosophy is if I'm in a club, they rely on me in a group. If it's a group work or whatever, they rely on me, right? But if it's individual work, it's okay, it's just me.
And do you feel like you kind of like, oh, I can clutch this.
Yeah.
I'm her. That shit.
Yeah, usually it's
Yeah.
future Vasali problem.
I think in our ways that we're different, she's very quick thinker. She's very fast paced, which is very important. I, however, am very detail oriented. I'm a little bit more slow, so which is why I spend a lot of time to study. And I'm slower than the rest. And I'm not ashamed of that. It's just the way I learn is like I know that I need the time to process things,
Right.
and I get stressed when I fall behind. I don't like being behind, right? So like, my philosophy is like if I can kind of get ahead, then I can be kind of on the same pace as.
No, but she worked
everyone
really hard because I know like even for like our class Viro, well, thanks because of her, I have all these notes and I'm studying off of them right now. But yeah, like she writes some really nice. She like. And this is one thing. If you guys ever need anything, go to Daisy's class. Daisy has class. You have to ask her. She pays. It's $100 an hour Okay.
Yeah.
I get a freebie because I'm her friend. So, but it's like the best thing ever because she teaches and it just sticks. Like, that's why I'm like, oh my god, she's such a hard worker.
Yeah.
Because like I can see it in the way she explains it. She knows it very well, and she like has that way of speech. Oh my god. I cannot do that. Like I'll be like, this, and like it's like confusing to me. But
Speaking of hard work, I wonder what drives you to work this hard. Like,
sorry,
oh my God,
sorry.
You know what? In a funny way, it kind of it's like a feedback loop. Like, it makes me excited to in a way now to know like, oh, if I study, like I can help my friends. Like I like when we study for Viro together, and I like that I get to like with Jazz and with Noah and with V, like when we study together, like if they need help, like being that person that they can rely
reach
on.
out to.
Like that to me is like, okay, like being that resource. And then like motivation wise, like there's med school.
Right.
Like the GPA.
Yeah.
Chipa.
Obviously.
Yeah, that's my motivation.
That's good. I'm wondering, so for med school, how are y'all feeling? I understand that it's a very stressful thing, but let's just say there's someone out there right now wanting to apply to the MCAT.
What?
Oh,
Is
write
it-
the MCAT, you mean?
You write
Yeah.
the MCAT?
Yeah.
Write them?
Right.
Yeah, wait, what did I say? Right?
Apply. I mean,
Oh,
technically
yeah,
you
apply.
to write
Well,
it.
yeah,
Sort of.
yeah.
Sign up
So,
for it.
I feel like y'all have studied really hard for it. Kind of tips you've learned over studying. What are things you wish you've done better for med school students going?
Delete social media.
Yes. Oh my god! At the time when because we both had the same day, we did August 11, 2023.
Yeah.
For your information. Daisy deleted TikTok. I was so sad. I had no TikToks to send to her. Like
I actually deleted TikTok 2 years ago because I don't know. It's just too addictive.
It is very addictive.
in a way. Or
It's 100% the
I
smartest
can't.
idea to do. Daisy, you were so smart to doing social media.
Well, then I kind of was on Reels just a little bit. But the reason why I say that for people who wanting to do it, like the MCAT specifically, is because I think one of the biggest struggles is like time span, attention
Boredom.
span.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Me personally, like with TikTok, it's like I can only watch things at 2 times speed, and if it's boring, like I'm just swiping through that stuff.
Yeah.
Right, like more than a minute, and I'm
It
clocked out.
ruins. Yeah. It ruins
ruins
your
it.
brain.
But with the MCAT, you're sitting there and you're reading passages that are like upwards, like, okay, well, it's not that bad.
But
like,
it's pretty bad. It's an 8-hour test.
yeah,
So it's like you really what it is.
pacing.
The issue isn't even the content. Like, so you can study for the content all you want. It's like sitting there, not like at least for me. Like I think Daisy to me.
Yeah.
Just sitting there, just not getting bored, and not wanting to just guess and move on. Like that was the biggest thing I think I had the struggles with. Even studying, like, I was like, sometimes I was like, I just know it, and I skip it because I'm like, I don't want to sit there and study for hours on end. That's how much I was like. That's what the worry was, is sitting there and like, because everyone always goes, it's a marathon, it's a marathon. I could not sit there and like, especially if I don't know it, I'm like, I'll just guess it and move on.
And how long is the MCAT?
8 hours.
8 hours.
It's 8 hours total. It's including I think it's like a 30-minute lunch, 15-minute breaks in between two of the things. So then each thing is like I think 1 hour, 2 hours.
So you obviously revise in the 30 minutes. You could do that, right? Or
You could, but you're gonna eat.
You can't.
I'd rather you eat, rest, like just relax, because you're already sitting there like knowledge. There's nothing else you can really teach yourself in 15
I guess so
minutes.
because it's a long one, right?
Yeah. No point.
It's definitely not one of those things that you
Study.
like study on the day of. Like literally the day before.
You're not supposed to study
most people
either.
book it in their schedule. No, because you will overload yourself. There's too many things. It's like 7 different concepts, and by that point, if you don't know it, then
You don't know it.
You don't know it. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do. Maybe you can that, but
Maybe.
my opinion is like, I don't.
You study for this. Like I know. Okay, we're supposed to start in May. Because if you're talking, it usually takes 3 months full. You treat it like you're a full, like a full-time job, 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to do like tests every week.
Yeah.
You have the practice questions, the question banks, revising. It sucks because the individual journey too. Like I know, like when me and Daisy were studying together, at the end of the day, it's someone's on their own because you're gonna write this test on your own. You're not gonna have someone else there, right? So it's like, it is a very daunting, isolating exam. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
So,
Plus, yeah.
if you were to rank give me 2 tips right now
2 tips?
for students.
Well, we'll sit. Oh yeah. Okay. So with that, like fixing your attention span. So like being able to sit for prolonged periods of time, not have social media that's kind of feeding into that like rapid rewards.
Like even
that
reading,
you need.
sitting there and reading,
Just reading,
just
so
reading
reading.
a book.
Yeah,
Just make it like it doesn't have to be studying. You can just sit there and read a book and practice that, and then get in that kind of zone. It doesn't have to be like you're going over content. Or like start treating your course load. So like if you're, let's say you're in university and you know you're gonna write in the summer, when you're sitting down and doing your exams, like study like how you would think you would study for the MCAT, and get used to like studying, like sitting there for a long period of time, giving yourself breaks when you need to. But those breaks are not your phone breaks. It's like you walking.
That's
you
hard,
doing
actually.
activities.
It's really hard.
It's really hard because you want something that's like addicting,
Fast,
dopamine, like give me the happiness, the joy, quickly.
That's a very good fact. Like just learning how to sit.
Yeah, that's the first thing. The second thing I would say is practice.
Yeah.
And I remember someone told me that, and it helped. And even then, if I were to rewrite the MCAT again, which is a possibility, I don't know. But instead of spending so much time doing content review and revision, is practicing it. Because the only way is like, you go read like the textbook, and you're like, yeah, I know that. But then when you see the question on the test, did you really know it? Maybe like
No.
I had the gist of it, but I didn't know the details, so I can't apply it.
Yeah.
But if you practice it, then you'll remember the steps that you took to get there.
Right.
It gets your gears moving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Practice for sure. At the end of the day, like I feel like also like I like back to Daisy's class. Why I like Daisy's class so much is because when she teaches it, I always feel stupid, which is not the best thing to say, but it's because for me, if I feel stupid, I have forced myself to learn it. Like I remember, so this is why one of the Daisy classes that really worked really well was genetics. I think it was Life Sci 3 W03, and she taught the hell out of me. I did really well on that test. And I was so happy because Daisy was just teaching me, and not to say that she was shaming me or anything, but I just sat there and like if she's willing to like learn and know all this stuff, I want to know it too. Like I shouldn't be like, oh, I don't know it at all, you know. So then she sat there and taught me, and it was really nice. So yeah, definitely practice.
Yeah, honestly, I do see how going into med school could be stressful and it's a lot of work. I don't know, but I feel like, especially in med school, I know it's hard to compare yourself to a lot of people, right? Like, I understand that, and comparison is right there, like, plays a big role in, like, people's emotions and, you know, whether they get it the first time or not. And I feel like I would see why med school could be competitive and why it's important to a lot of people, and I don't blame them for being like... So, in a sense, in a way, what would y'all say, and how would you deal with feeling like you're comparing yourself? Because I know how much comparison can just like rob you of your joy, number one, make you feel less. And why would you want to feel less because somebody succeeded at their hard work, right? Like, I feel like we fail to look at that and be like, it's fine, I'm gonna get it. It doesn't matter how many times, right? So, yeah.
Comparison is inevitable, though. Like,
Yeah.
I know, but like...
but I think coping with that, not letting it rob you of your joy.
Exactly.
That's hard. I would be lying if I say that I don't compare myself. Like this year, seeing actually some of like people within our year who are already like admitted into med. In some ways, it's like, oh, like, am I behind? But then I think Visali and I have this conversation a lot, and you know, you think that we do have this comparison a lot, and sometimes I do compare myself to you, where I'm like, if Visali's performing at this like caliber, there's no excuses.
Yeah.
Right? Because she is my other half. Like, I need to step up my game and do better. And in that way, comparison is used as a motivation and a drive.
Yeah. Yes.
Kind of like Visali said when I'm teaching her. Like, she isn't jealous of me, but she feels motivated of like, okay, if Daisy knows, because if Daisy is equally capable as I am, I know that I need to step up, get my content, and lock in and get it done. So I think in some ways you can use that comparison as a motivation, but also recognizing it's your own journey.
Yeah.
I think one thing that the conversations that me and Daisy have all the time is we know we're going to get to med school. It might take long. It might take a long time. Like, it can take 5 years. It doesn't know. We don't know. But I'd rather just know, like, I'm going to keep trying. And then Daisy's like, I'm going to keep trying. Yeah. We're going to keep trying until we get there. I tell my mom this. My mom's like, tells everyone. She's like, she's going to write the MCAT 7 times. I'm like, okay, wait. That's not what I said. But, like, it's like, I know this is my dream. Yeah. And this is what I want to do. I don't want to change it for the world. It will be a long journey. It's going to be a hard journey. Even people are they're going to get in this year, they're going to get in the next year following, they're making the year following that, and I didn't get in it.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because if I know my end goal, if we know our end goal, and we're going to get there, we're going to get there.
Never give up. I think, like, we actually had a good talk about, like, wherever we are placed in life, that like, a person must do his best. And I think that is something that has to be put out there. And I really like what you said. And I think, yeah, like, you are right. Comparison is inevitable. I compare myself. But in a sense, like, I don't want people to, like, feel like they should feel less of, like, somebody else's blessing, you know? And I feel like it's easier said than done, right?
Yes.
I know it is. I've been there. And everybody has been there. But I especially within med, there's a lot of people who feel what y'all feeling, right? And I feel like everybody can relate with everyone, right? Because it's just how we can kind of, like, look at the negative and kind of just, like, understand that there's this, like, brightness from it, right? And it's just like you said, never giving up on that goal that you really want. And Maktub, remember that?
Yeah.
Maktub?
Yeah, I read the Alchemist this summer, and I think about that all the time. It's written. And you know another thing my mom always used to tell me growing up that also really helps? She says, there will always, always, always be someone out there who's better than you.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
W
so
right
if
there.
you get that in your head, and don't use that as a way to bring you down, but realize that, like, you can compare yourself, but there will always be someone better than you, and you can't control that. So might as well just
Do it
move
for
on,
you,
accept
yeah.
it, and do it for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Don't do it for other people. And yeah, and
And live your life. Because,
it's written.
yeah. Like, it's like, well, keep pushing yourself. Work hard. But don't let it get you down. Because inevitably, if it meant for you, it will happen. You know? Like, you got to keep, but you can't just stop working.
Mm-hmm.
It's like given to you like a silver spoon.
And
You got to keep doing it.
And the reason I say this is for a lot of people, sometimes their ego gets in their way.
Sorry.
Sometimes it's fine. Sometimes people get in their way where they just think, like, yeah, I'm just going to segregate myself from everybody else. I need to lock in. Nobody's locking in. Like, I'm better. And I feel like sometimes, like, you shouldn't let your ego get in the way. You just have to, like, reflect, realize where everything's coming from, where that like feeling's coming from, and just go at it. But I don't know. I kind of want to leave you guys with an icebreaker that has nothing to do with the topic at all. And I think it would be funny because I want the audience to kind of, like, have that's an interesting thing. But I saw this thread online, okay? And I don't know if it's common, but it's a relationship question, actually. But, you know, what way? Okay, lipstick's on.
Sorry. I just wanted to... We didn't do it. This is the Kosas... No, Kosas. This is the Kaja Juicy Glass.
All right. So...
Oh.
These couple have been dating for almost a year now. And the word I love you hasn't been used by the man. What do we do about that?
Ooh.
Oh, this is juicy.
They've been dating for a year?
Dating for a year. I know what you're gonna say.
What am I gonna say?
I have an idea.
What do you think I'm gonna say?
Some people just don't grow in that environment where
So
they say
factuals.
"I love you" out loud, and it doesn't have to be said. It's what they do.
By the way, I'm sorry. Just W, because, yeah, that's something that not many people would say.
Yeah, no, it's because Daisy... So this is another thing that's very different from me. Daisy says I love you, like, to, like, her mom and, like, her family and stuff like that. I never say that. I don't even say bye to my mom on the phone. She loves hugs. I do not hug people. Like, if people know me, they know me that I don't like hugs.
Yeah, you dap up. You're like,
Yeah, I dap people up. And I don't grow... Because I didn't grow up in that environment of, like, family hugging or family saying I love you. It's a different way of love. Daisy, like, you have that, like, different... Like, it's like that words and, like, that physical touch part of it. So sometimes... Maybe that's his thing. But then again, if he's saying I love you to, like, everyone else, then maybe this is a problem. But
no. We don't know that.
We don't know. But
that was not specified for Sally.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. I had a feeling because I knew, and the thing is, I don't have a doubt in my heart. I know your mom loves you.
Yeah. She hates me.
I know. I sit in the car, and she has a great family. They're a loving family. They're good people. Her parents are very 100%. Good people. And I don't ever think that their lack of, like, their words of affirmation, their lack of that, it diminishes their love for her.
Yeah.
I know for a fact. So that's why I'm like, oh, maybe, like, it could be in this case, he
has a hard time.
He's had a hard time vocalizing himself. Maybe growing up, childhood trauma.
Oh.
Maybe growing up, he was never told that he's loved by somebody, and so he didn't realize that is something you do to your partner
say something
to let them know.
Maybe he didn't see his parents do that in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if this is on like Reddit or something, maybe he's scared of, I don't know, something. I don't know.
With relationships, it's so hard because I feel like seeing, because I haven't been in a relationship, but seeing other people in relationships and seeing friendships too, like with whatever.
Yeah.
It's so hard because there's two people. And you don't really know what the other person's thinking, and then you also don't know what the other person did. So it's like there's so many things involved.
Oh yeah, man. There's always like a story.
It's always a
That's the
story.
thing, like, I feel like sometimes, at least I've learned not to misunderstand anybody, right? Because everybody knows a side of the story, like kind of conflicts how someone views you, and it's out of your control.
It's their
Out of your
opinion.
control.
It's like their opinion.
About you.
No. So it's like their opinion of what happened because that's their side of the story, right?
Yeah.
And that's valid to them. That's their side of the story. But there's always gonna be another
100%.
side of the story. That's the other person's side of the story.
Yeah.
There's too much involved. Oh my gosh.
Actually, yeah, like, okay, friend, like, a friend once told me, I remember, something, and I think about it a lot. It's like, you can't, like, sometimes that they may be a bad friend to you, right? But that doesn't mean that they're a bad friend overall.
Oh
So
yeah.
you can't, sometimes you can't contribute to that, like, narrative. And, like, you can, you can understand them, but not agree with them.
Yes.
And I think about that a lot.
All the time.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Yeah, I remember when that person said that. It's like you understand the person, like you understand what happened or
Yeah.
whatever, but you don't have to agree with it.
them. And that speaks volumes in some ways because it's like you can be hurt by what they're saying, and that's okay, right? And you maybe understand it. It's from a place of hurt as well. Hurt people all the time.
Yeah.
Right? But
You don't
that
agree with
doesn't
that action.
justify. Nothing is ever justified where it's like, oh, because they grew up that way, it's okay.
No.
To her,
Like in this
yeah.
relationship, right? Maybe if the girl is now expressing like she feels like, oh, my boyfriend maybe
Doesn't love me or
love me,
whatever.
right? That's why he hasn't said it. Which maybe like hopefully she would have seen through his actions that he does love her and wouldn't
Yeah.
have felt insecure in that way.
Unless I don't know why would she be.
Yeah,
there.
but
Right.
like then that's something you have to bring up, right?
And
like
communicate.
and because how else would he know?
Oh, communication.
You know, everybody
Communication's hard, though.
emphasizes.
People, it's
everybody-
hard. Preaching it is one thing. No. It's so much harder.
No,
in
because
life.
this is one thing. We were with the Casper recently, and she asked me like, "Well, what's my greatest weakness?" I will always say communication. There is always room for improvement for anyone when it comes to communication
Yeah.
because it's
hard.
the hardest thing in the world. Because the human mind is so interesting.
The communication can happen, but you gotta remove your ego
Yes.
from your side. That's all you need.
It's just like the way that someone else is gonna interpret what I say. Like even right now in this podcast, whatever we say, someone might interpret it and be like, "Oh, they're like that." So it's like that's crazy, right?
You're honestly. Nah, you're far from that for sure. I'm pretty. yeah.
Hopefully.
Well, you don't know
Well,
that.
you
But
guys,
you don't know
what?
because they might take
I'd
it
be
like
surprised.
that.
Yeah, but that's up to them. Go ahead. I'll live rent free in your.
Oh,
head.
okay, stop.
Like, you know how like.
Okay. I live rent free in your head.
I live in apartment number 2 in your head.
Why'd you have to use your accent?
Sorry. What accent? That's just how I speak, Yusuf.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. I honestly, it's a pleasure having you all
Mouth
here.
noises. Sorry.
Wait, is my mouth?
noises?
I hate my mouth noises, by the way, and
Sorry.
Daisy always points them out, and I'm working on it. I need to have a dry mouth
What?
because
No,
I don't want to be, you know.
No, but
I don't
everyone
wanna-
does that. Like even when I'm talking right now, it's like definitely.
Yeah,
That's what they're gonna be like.
I
They're-
guess so.
That's when they'll be like, "Oh my god, I hate these girls. They have mouth noises. So annoying."
You gave them the ick. Now they
Yeah,
don't
we
want
give them a
you.
huge like bottle cap. More like gone. Bottle gone.
But yeah, it's a pleasure having, well, my friends on. Like honestly,
You have friends? Okay, I'm sorry. Yusuf, I bought you Timbits yesterday.
just go subscribe and comment. I want to make money.
Oh, whoa. No, we love
No.
intro to
Aside from that, thank you to the audience who have been supporting me till this day. Thank you. I really appreciate the support. I really do. Please make sure to like and comment, subscribe. Because what are you doing? If you have reached here and have enjoyed, please subscribe.
We're
It's
just
been
sign language.
an honor sharing the stage, sharing the studio with Basali and Daisy.
Woo!
All right, guys.
Okay, now French time. Bonjour, je m'appelle.